For as long as I can remember, my family has gone camping in the winter school holidays. Our journey would begin with us packing up our old red Volvo, and we would drive out of the city, leaving the hum of cars and sirens behind us. The red tiled rooftops, traffic lights and asphalt would slowly fade away to green pastures dotted with sheep. Being winter, the rain would splatter on the windscreen and the sky was a sea of grey, with clouds like ships rolling through the dark, ominous sky. The drive always took forever, and it wasn't long before the protests of, "Are we there yet?" and "I'm hungry" came from the back seat. Finally, after what seemed like eternity, we would arrive at our destination. On this particular occasion, we were camping at the river, and when my dad hopped out of the car, he looked over at the river. He put his red beanie on and said, "Kids, stay away from that river. It's cold and I don't want either of you falling in and getting wet." I stared at my dad. Really? I thought. I felt annoyed, a feeling like tiny, angry butterflies fluttering away in my belly. I shrugged them off. I didn't want those angry butterflies to ruin our holiday. Our parents started to set up our tents, and my brother and I were sent off to collect firewood. But the alluring river seemed too hard for me to resist. "Maybe," I whispered to my brother, "we could skim some rocks quickly over the water." "Oi!" Suddenly, I heard a bellow from the tents. "I thought I told you kids not to get too close to that river. Now go and collect the firewood." The angry butterflies fluttered again in my belly, but I kept my mouth closed and kept them at bay. The next day, we woke up to a bright new day. The air was crisp and the sun's rays tickled our faces. The bush came alive around us, and still the temptress giggled and gargled. "Come play with me," she sang, to my ears alone. "All right," my dad said. "I think today we'll go on a hike. But I'm going to walk behind you two kids. I'm going to make sure you don't get too close to that river." The butterflies were almost out of my mouth. I could feel their wings on the tip of my tongue. I wanted to shout. I wanted to stamp my feet. I wanted to release the butterflies out of their cage. But I didn't. I swallowed. I smiled. "Sure thing, Dad," I choked out. We started to move, stamping our way through the bush, with my dad occasionally grumbling when we got too close to the river. The angry butterflies, it seemed, had left me, flying off with their barbed wire wings. The anger they fed on, it seemed, had finally diminished. And then it happened. My brother and I ran ahead, and as my dad yelled, "Alice, be careful of those rocks!" Splash! My brother and I stopped, our feet frozen to the ground. I turned around, and there sat my dad in the middle of the river with his red beanie on, freezing cold. He was a strong man, the head of our family, and he never seemed to falter. And looking at him in that river, I wished I was in his place. We went back to the campsite and my dad regained his composure. And in that moment, I could see that he was strong, and I loved him because he tried to protect us. As an adult, this journey has taught me the lesson that when people love you, They don't try and stop you from doing things because they're being mean. They're trying to stop you from doing things because they don't want you to get hurt. As a parent myself, I can finally understand that one day I too will stop my children from doing things. Not because I don't want them to have fun, but because I love them and I want to protect them.